The Roman Republic has finally launched an invasion of Greece. The Roman fleet crossed the sea and began a large-scale sortie of legions. Macedonia is unable to contain the legionaries of Rome on all parts of its borders. Diadochus decides to strengthen Thessaly and gives the go-ahead for the revival of Myrmidon units. Local veterans of Thessaly and Larissa joined the ranks of the Myrmidons. The Myrmidons will have to defend the fortress on the southern border of Macedonia, while the main forces of Diadochus are fighting with the Roman legions in the north. The Roman legion of 6,000 soldiers began storming the fortress that was defended by the Myrmidons. The Myrmidons were led by a military commander from Larissa. His name is Agnes. Myrmidons no more than 500. The legion quickly reached the walls despite the shelling. The Roman soldiers immediately began to climb the walls. Having risen, they met with the power of the Myrmidons. The Myrmidons fought valiantly. The Roman soldiers, despite their numbers, could not gain a foothold on the walls. The Roman legion suffered heavy losses and, unable to overcome the walls, was defeated by the Myrmidons. There were no more than 500 Myrmidons, no more than 100 fell. The legion lost half of its strength. Thanks to the Myrmidons, the Romans failed to enter the rear of the Macedonian army and ravage the lands in the south. Rome was left with nothing, and after the defeat at Pella retreated in disgrace. The Macedonian ruler did not dare to dissolve the previously recruited army and decided to take control of the Thracian lands. The Myrmidons also headed north to ambush the Thracian army, which may bypass the Macedonian army. The Thracians did not take long to wait and a few days later rushed to the northern borders of Macedonia, where the Myrmidons were already waiting for them. 10,000 barbarian horde was attacked by 500 Myrmidons. The deadly chariots and cavalry were the first to cut into the Thracian column. After that, the Myrmidon infantry entered the battle, which caught the Thracians in surprise, who tried to repel the attack of cavalry and chariots. Agnes had prepared the war dogs in advance, which, by order, rushed into the zealously rushing Thracians. The Thracians were shaken by the blow of the Myrmidons. The completely destroyed communication in the barbarian formation became the decisive factor in the defeat of the barbarians. The Myrmidons, like a bolt from the blue, dealt a crushing blow and defeated the main units of the Thracians. The barbarian warlord decides to flee and retreats. The Thracians suffered enormous losses. The Myrmidons got off with only a few dozen losses. Having defeated the Thracians, the Macedonian leader decides to restore control over Asia Minor and begins a campaign of conquest to the east. The Myrmidons took an active part in this campaign. When the Macedonian army besieged Anch, the Myrmidons went to Palmyra to join the siege, but the army of Seleucus came to them. 7,000 warriors, including dozens of elephants and chariots. There are still only 500 Myrmidons. Agnes took up a defensive position on the hill. Agnes gives the go-ahead to the archers to fire a volley. Arrows quickly find their target. Elite Seleucid sub-settlements come under fire. Seleucus, seeing serious losses among the infantry, decides to throw his entire army into battle. Agnes, seeing the futility of the tactics of the Seleucid commander, decides to personally rush into battle. The Myrmidon infantry rushed forward of their own phalanxes and began to push back the Seleucid warriors. Agnes manages to break the enemy's morale. The enemy rolled down the hill like a bull. The Seleucid commander loses control of the army. The enemy infantry begins to flee. The Seleucids lost 1/3 of the army and fled to Media. The Macedonian army finally captures Anch and moves south to Egypt.
We will win!